Time now, it's 5 o'clock on this Tuesday evening, August 19th, 2014, on a Tuesday evening. Time now for the Weather Magician PJ Wiggins, the evening report. Tuesday evening, August 19th, 2014. Good evening, everybody. Our conditions at 5 o'clock here in North Massachusetts got a temperature of 80 degrees, that temperature with a humidity of 34%. Wind speed variable about 3 miles per barometer, 29 inches, Jupiter about 49 degrees, and visibly at 10 miles, heat index of 79 degrees. Okay, let's take a look at our radar scope. Let's go with some spotty rain showers around eastern Quebec and eastern New Brunswick, down for central and eastern portions of Nova Scotia here. And we're seeing some spotty rain showers around eastern portions of Prince Edward Island, some line of rain showers around Ontario and the north central Wisconsin, eastern Minnesota, and a line of showers and storms down for central Michigan and the northeastern Indiana, and seeing some spotty rain showers in central portions of Pennsylvania that's stretching into western Virginia, down for the Carolinas, and down for much of the Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, down for Louisiana, and down for Texas. Some showers and storms around southeastern Texas, around Louisiana here, and a lot of rain showers and storms from northern Mexico, stretching out for the Four Quarter region in northern Nevada, Wyoming, Idaho, eastern Oregon, up in western Montana, up in the southwestern British Columbia, and down for Alberta, down for central Saskatchewan here. Then west Phoenix has been dealing with some flooding right around the area because of the monsoon rains here. Carrier Mills, Illinois, good evening, 85 degrees with clear skies here. Okay, let's take a look at our satellite loop here, and it shows a line of clouds covering much of southern Illinois, stretching in India, and down from Michigan, and then up in the northern Wisconsin, northeast Minnesota, up in the southern Ontario, line of clouds coming from northeastern New Brunswick, eastern Quebec, and down to Newfoundland, line of clouds coming off the central New York, central Pennsylvania, and down to the Virginias, and stretching in eastern Virginia, is a line of clouds from western Dakotas, and a line of clouds from southern Georgia, stretching down for Alabama, Mississippi, a line of clouds from southeastern Texas, down for western Louisiana, southwestern Louisiana, and a line of clouds from Mexico, stretching up to much of the southwest, and up in the Rockies, and up in Idaho, northern Nevada, eastern Oregon, down for Washington State, and a line of clouds from British Columbia, stretching down up in the Saskatchewan, and Manitoba, up in Ontario, and James Bay here. Take a look at our map situation here, and it shows lots of frontal boundaries and lows around much of the western portion of the country, and a frontal boundary from southern tip of Manitoba, stretching to northern Minnesota, stretching out of Lake Superior, line of another frontal boundary from UP and Michigan, out of northern Michigan, and down for eastern Ontario, and down for Quebec, and it seems some stationary front from Colorado, stretching into Kansas, Missouri, and a cold front for Illinois, and a warm front down for Michigan, and down for western Ohio, and stretching down for the Virginias, and out to sea. Low pressure in southern Wisconsin and northeastern Wisconsin, and central Idaho, eastern Washington, north central California, southeastern California, and eastern Colorado, while some high pressure in the Gulf of Mexico, Vermont, eastern Nebraska, some Wyoming, Yellowstone Valley, and northwestern portions of Arizona here. 71 degrees the temperature in Boston. It is 79 out in New York City, 85 in Washington, 84 in Pittsburgh and in Detroit, 82 in Atlanta, and 94 in Miami, 96 in Brownsville, Texas, 92 in Dallas, Texas, 89 in Kansas City, Omaha, Nebraska. It's 82 in Chicago, 80 in Minneapolis, 86 in Great Falls, Montana, 77 in Seattle, Washington, 72 out in San Francisco, 76 in Los Angeles, 85 in Las Vegas, 77 in Phoenix, 88 in Albuquerque and in Denver, and then 67 out in Salt Lake City, Utah. Current conditions around the region, we have 71 degrees at temperature in Boston, 65 at Boston Harbor, 77 in Bedford, 72 in Beverly, 74 in Gloucester, 73 out in Haverhill, 73 in Worcester, 77 in Sturbridge, 79 in Webster, and in Norwood, it's 80 out in Taunton, 78 in New Bedford, 70 in Plymouth, and Provincetown and Chatham, and in Cape Cod Bay, 73 in Falmouth, 74 in Martinsville, 65 in Nantucket, 73 in Buckland, 76 in Westerly, 75 in Providence, 77 in Smithfield. It is 72 out in Long Island, 75 out in Bridgeport, 77 in Danbury and Waterbury. 80s all the way along the I-99 quarter from New Haven to Meriden, and in Hartford and Windsor, 78 in Springfield, 75 out in Greenfield, 79 in Amherst, 76 in Northampton, 74 in Pittsfield, 70 in Albany, New York, and in New York City, 76 in Innislip, and 74 in Montauk, 76 out in Payton, 75 in Bradbury and Keene, New Hampshire, 76 in Concord and Manchester, New Hampshire, 78 in Nashville, New Hampshire, 74 in Jeffrey, and 73 in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Here. Forecast discussion around the country. Here. Sight with severe thunderstorms over parts of the western Ohio Valley, and in the Great Lakes, and heavy rain possible over parts of the western Ohio Valley and parts of the central and northern plains. And up below, swinging the fact that the Great Lakes will bring the chance of a severe weather to the western Ohio Valley today, and strong severe thunderstorms expected to hot and humid air mass of the place across the region with above normal moisture being transported by a strong southerly westerly flow. Ahead of this cold front, heavy rain expected in the evening associated with the thunderstorms activity. The cold front will sweep across the Ohio Valley tonight before becoming stationary across the region tomorrow afternoon, and precipitation will be focused along. And ahead of the occluded boundary that passes the low Great Lakes in Ohio Valley tonight and tomorrow, with a slow eastward progression into the system, flash flooding will be possible tomorrow across western Pennsylvania and western New York. A deep upward trail over the western United States will bring heavy rain to the southwestern and intermountain west this evening. Some upper level energy in the southwest will eject out to the northern plains tomorrow, with precipitation breaking out in the afternoon out of the cold front dropping out of western Canada. A warm front pushing in northward to fight the central plains will be the focus of the precipitation developing tomorrow afternoon, and with the upper level jets draping overhead more shortwave energy crossing the northern Rockies. The precipitation shield will be expanded across the northern plains tomorrow evening by Thursday morning. The cold front will be banked up against the northern Rockies and the mountain, and the precipitation will be enhanced by the upslope flowing region here. And forecast discussion here in New England here, and it shows mainly dry weather with temperatures near slightly below normal expected throughout the weekend. Pattern starts to become a bit more unsettled early next weekend and approaching front. Forecast remains on track, and sea breezes progressing into New England and should be slowing the momentum as daytime height. It includes a field of scattered pancake cumulus up to around 5 kilometers foot. Should dissipate temperatures topping out in the low 80s for a few select areas, slow Connecticut Valley and interior eastern Massachusetts just west of the sea breeze. Valleys dropping out as we go into the evening hours. Tonight, good model agreement on weak announcement at the mid-level ridge as it pushes eastward across the northeastern corners, and we'll keep a dry forecast with river subsidence accompanied by high pressure underlying and variable winds. Watching the no cloud deck personally over Pennsylvania and New England, and this should slowly affect the eastward of west and southwest flow. Regard and rewarded the mid-level ridge high thick clouds are possible overnight, with a potential for lower and thicker clouds in the western New England by Wednesday morning. This can result in complication of both overnight and lows, and dense fog potentially could truly ruin the forecast. Altogether, nothing golden clouds, along with the variable winds of highest confidence across the central and eastern of New England about another night of low effective radios should cool. And considering Tuesday morning lows, Wednesday morning lows should be around the upper 40s, especially for those areas which radiate well, as well lows around the mid-50s with the urban centers slightly warmer. Okay, let's take a look at what is brewing out over the tropics here. And we have disturbance one, a 30% chance of a disorganized shower and thunderstorm activity continues in. Associated with an elongated area of low pressure that extends from the northeastern coast into the South American, into the central tropical Atlantic environment. Conditions are forecast to become more conducive for gradual development of this system during the next few days as it approaches the Western Antilles and moves into the Caribbean Sea. Formation chance for 4 hours, medium about 30%. Formation chance for 5 days, medium about 40%. And a tropical wave located about midway between the west coast of Africa and Western Antilles has produced some thunderstorm shower and thunderstorm activity as some slow development of this system is possible over the next several days, while it moves toward the west-northwest about 10 miles per hour. Formation chance for 4 hours, low 10% formation chance for 5 days, low about 20% here. And take a look at the Eastern Pacific here. A large but disorganized area showers and thunderstorms located 700 miles south of the Gulf of Tonga is associated with a tropical wave and a low pressure system expected to form well south of the coast of Mexico during the next day or two, and development conditions are conducted for the low to become a tropical depression of the weekend while it moves toward the west northwest. There. And let us take a look at a double-barreled action of storms in the Eastern Pacific here. First, take a look at Karina here. It's latest advisory 50 mile per hour winds with center location about 15.7 to the north, 134.8 to the west here, and movement was about 5 miles per hour. Public advisory here, the latest public advisory Karina moving slowly westward, 15.7 to the north, 134.8 to the west, about 1365 miles, 2195 kilometers east of Hello Hawaii. Much the same winds about 50 miles per 85 kilometers an hour. Present movement about west about 270 degrees at 5 miles per 7 kilometers an hour. Minimum central pressure at 1,000 millibars at 29.53 inches, and watch the waters there are no coastal waters warnings effect. At 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time, the center of the tropical storm Karina was located in latitude about 15.7 to the north, Launch 134.8 to the west, and Karina is moving toward the west near 5 miles by 7 kilometers an hour and 2 degrees. And forward speed is affected, and Karina could become nearly stationary by Wednesday night, and maximum sustained winds remain near 50 miles by 85 kilometers an hour with higher gusts. Some small fluctuations in intensity are likely during the next 48 hours. And tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 80 miles, 130 kilometers from the center, and the minimum central pressure is 1,000 millibars or 29.53 inches. Here. And the latest on tropical storm Lowell here. 18.4 to the north, 120.3 to the west, and maximum sustained winds 50 miles per hour. Movement northwest about 8 miles per hour. Here. Lowell moving northwest with no change in strength. A location 18.4 to the north, 120.3 to the west, about 740 miles, 11.9 kilometers west of the southwest of the southern tip of Baja California. Maximum sustained winds about 50 miles by 85 kilometers an hour. Present movement northwest about 310 degrees at 8 miles by 13 kilometers an hour. Minimum central pressure 996 millibars or 29.42 inches. There are no coastal watches or warnings in effect at 2 p.m. Pacific time. 21 UTC. The center of tropical storm Lowell was located in latitude about 18.4 to the north, longitude 120.3 to the west. The Lowell is moving toward the northeast west near 8 miles per hour, 30 kilometers an hour. The decrease in forward speed is expected tonight and Wednesday. Followed by in turn toward the northwest Wednesday night. Maximum sustained winds are near 50 miles per 85 kilometers an hour with higher gusts. Little changes to surface forecast in the next 40 hours. The tropical storm force winds extend outward to 205 miles, 335 kilometers from the center. That's the minimum central pressure is 996 millibars at 29.42 inches. Here. Take a look at our Central Pacific outlook. Here, our central low pressure about 775 miles east southeast of Hilo was moving west slowly as the source continued the pulse of eastern periphery. Over the past 24 hours, there has been significant change, no significant change in organization. The formation trend for 4 hours, low temperature and center of low pressure, about 8 miles south of Honolulu near stationary over the past 24 hours. There have been no significant change in the organization formation trend for 4 hours. Low temperature formation elsewhere, no tropical cycles are expected for Thursday morning. Here. Okay, let's take a look at tonight's lows. We are going to see lows for 48 to 60 degrees, which means 60s here in southern New England and down to the Pennsylvania and New Jersey and Pennsylvania and Maryland and New Jersey and New York City. 50s from the north and west of Boston up in the northern New England and up in the upstate New York here. And tomorrow's highs. Today high pressure continue to bring on dry weather with seasonable temperatures in the southern New England with moisture remaining on west flat Wednesday. Seasonable temperatures in the upper 70s, low 80s expected to be a low, probably a few shots western New England there. And so high tomorrow 72 to 81 degrees here. Okay, let's take a look at a map. Let's take a look at the view from the outside. A beautiful day on tap, a beautiful evening on store. And if you are going to the Red Sox game at Fenway Park this evening against the California Angels, another glorious winner in the weather department for the Red Sox here. Beautiful skies at Fenway Park here. Okay, 7-day forecast goes like this. For tonight, most of the coast got low 52 degrees and southeast wind about 6 miles per hour calm in the evening. Wednesday, Saints got under 80 degrees and calm wind becoming east around 6 miles per hour in the afternoon. Wednesday night, most of the coast got low 52 degrees and southeast wind about 5 miles per hour and calm in the evening. Thursday, most of the Saints got under 75 degrees and calm wind becoming east around 6 miles per hour in the afternoon. Thursday night, most of the clouds got low 57 degrees and northeast wind about 3 to 5 miles per hour. Friday, parts of the Saints got under 73 degrees. Friday night, most of the clouds got low 59 degrees. Saturday, parts of the Saints got under 72 degrees. Sunday night, most clouds got on 58 degrees. And Sunday, part of the Saints got in there 72 degrees. Sunday night, podcast got on 58 degrees. On Monday, most of the Saints got in there 74 degrees. On Monday night, podcast got on 58 degrees. On Tuesday, most of the Saints got in there 8 degrees. Predators were the first of the evening. A pleasant evening on store. Peter Channel News Time, 5:14 time after a little travel report. And we're going to start up at 495 where there's some debris on the road around Route 3A here. Around Route 4 in Chelmsford, an accident near 495 northbound near Route 4 in Chelmsford, and another accident on Route 495 near Lowell connecting Lowell. It's backed up all the way from Littleton on the northbound side all the way out to launch. So if you're experiencing someone in that area, try to take it easy on that 495 stretch from Lowell down through Littleton here. 495 southbound Little Slope from Lawrence all the way down to Lowell. Route 3 on the southbound side, slow from 62 in Burlington and up into the Billerica. And slow from Brilwick all the way down to North Chelmsford here. And 93 on the northbound side, a little slow from Lawrence all the way up to Methuen. 95, move on fine from both sides from 120 to the New Hampshire border. And 495 mile fine from Lawrence up to Haverhill here. Southeast Expressway on the southbound side backed up from the tunnel all the way down to the split here. And Tipperary Tunnel bumper to bumper from the Pike all the way down through the Zakin Bridge because the Fenway Park and O'Neill Tunnel baseball game so to be busy around the Fenway Park area here. And 93 on the northbound side slow from the Zakin Bridge up down to Medford. Mass Park on the westbound side a little slow from the Brighton all the way down to Newton, and a little slow from the Western Tolls all the way down to Framingham, and Mass Park on the eastbound side slow around Framingham here. 120 then southbound side a little slow from Route 2 in Lexington all the way down to 109 in Westwood here. That's because due to some road work and an incident on 128 southbound near Route 9 in Wellesley, and another incident on 128 southbound near Route 11720 in Waltham. 129 on the northbound side slow from Route 3 in Burlington all the way down for Wakefield due to an accident on Route 3 on the northbound side near the Burlington Mall here. And 195, 128 southbound a little slow from 95 in Peabody all the way down to Linfield here. 495 115 for both sides from Wilton all the way down through Buzzards Bay, and 95 south a little slow from 120 in Norwood in the Ponset River. 120 south 93 north a little slow from 120 in Norwood all the way down to the Braintree split there, and 120 north 93 south a little slow from the split to 24 in Randolph here. 24 south a little slow around 495 in Bridgewater Raynham stretch. Route 3 slow and split about as you smooth sailing on Route 3 from Braintree all the way down to Sagamore here. 25 in the eastbound side, a little slowly approach 6 and 28 in Buzzards Bay. And take a look at Rhode Island highways there. 95 northbound, a little slow from 37 in Warwick all the way up down to downtown Providence there. 95 southbound, a little slow from Pawtucket all the way down to 146 and 146 southbound, a little slow to your approach 95. 610 connector in the eastbound side, a little slow approach 95 Providence there. 195 on the westbound side, a little slow from East Providence all the way down for Providence. 295 115 for both sides from Attleboro to Warwick. Let's have for your slow spots at 295 northbound Route 37 here. And 146 on the southbound side, a little slow from North Smithfield down to Lincoln due to some road work on 295 here. And Route 4 a little slow from Exeter down for 138. And Jamestown to Newport Bridge to the Milan Fine, and Bourne and Sacramento Bridge to the Milan Fine. 20 northbound, a little slow approach to Baltimore. Peter Channel News time 5:17, and it's time now for the Peter Channel News Evening Report on August 19th, 2014. Good evening, everybody. I'm Peter Wiggins. The news, what's happening here? Top story at 5:17. St. Louis police shot a real man who was killed who allegedly charged 2 officers on Tuesday just bounced from the scene of a controversial police shooting in the suburb of Ferguson, Missouri. As the man in age 23 was shot and killed by St. Louis police today after he charged them just 10 days after police shooting of 18-year-old Michael Brown in Ferguson less than 6 miles away. The White House says Wade said in President Obama to Ferguson, Missouri, and has not ruled out that it has visit in the upcoming weeks, according to sources familiar with the internal decision making. Rick Perry's legal team, the targeted DA's members of the governor's legal team, our strategy are introduced to the media Monday. They are from David Butsford, Tony Busby, Bobby Burchell, and Ben Ginsberg. Thoughts and prayers go out to Braxton Miller, creator Columbus, and now started Bucknuts. The great quarterback season ending injury changes everything. Frank Bill started building Basin City, that infamous North Haven for booze, bars, and boats when he was just a teenager in Las Vegas, and that fought the fifth zone time of just a hint of what was hit comic book pages and movie screens years later. United Nations health workers in New Crutown Library residents are being urged to wash their hands to prevent the spread from the epidemic. Ceasefire in the Gaza Strip collapsed on Tuesday with Palestinian militants firing rockets through an Israeli property in the Israeli airstrikes that health officials say killed a woman and young girl. Thousands of protesters marched in the Pakistani parliament on Tuesday as a part of a bid to force their prime minister to resign, using a crane and a bolt cutter to force their way past barricades of the shipping containers in the capital. In Baghdad, far beyond the front lines, refugees displaced by Islamic extremists in Iraq do not see a way for themselves to go home anytime soon. Pope Francis discussed the topic of his own death apparently for the first time on Monday, saying God may give him 2 or 3 years, but he might retire before then. In Ferguson, Missouri, funeral services are planned on Monday for the non-armed black teenager who was fatally shot by a white policeman in Missouri. As an added more than a week, a race-rate charge clashes in the St. Louis suburb of Ferguson. In Phoenix, crews rescued residents and motorists after a monsoon surge that brought extensive flood into Arizona, trapped residents in their homes and closed major freeway and paralyzed traffic on several streets. CBS affiliate KPHO in Phoenix reported here. Richmond, Virginia, the youngest sister of former Virginia Governor Robert F. McDonald, testified in the Swan and Barbie trial on Tuesday that the governor's wife was manipulative and unpredictable and can be deceptive. Teen testifies against Pound and Brock for one case. In New York, Microsoft won $1 million and not supported replacement of Steve Ballmer, according to a source familiar with the company's thinking. British banker John Standard chartered as group to defend the police in the eyes of New York's top financial regulator, which defended the bank about $300 million, suspended its ability to convert currency for violating the money laundering settlement. Next, U.S. stocks ended down for the second straight session on Tuesday as robust house and data and strong earnings from the Dow component of Home Depot overshadowed lingering concerns about the conflict in Ukraine. Sales of the pop star's fragrances disappeared in the past year, pulling down earnings for beauty product giant Elizabeth Arden. In San Francisco, it could be argued that on August 19, 2004, the second wave of the internet era officially began. That's when that Google Incorporated went public. Today, Apple shuts the record share past the analysts continue to cheer the computer economy, meaning ahead of an expected iPhone 6 debut. The lead record odds for Apple as iPhone 6 in years. After looking at 5 things smartphones that are unlikely to come to the iPhone 6. In Hollywood, California, a few generations have given the concept of aliens, zombies, and vampires more than fits out for this one, which made the announcement of Guillermo del Toro's Fox show, The Strain, a welcome addition in everyone. The actress son of superstar Jackie Chan's been detained on drug-related charges. The latest high-profile story being ensnared in a major Chinese crackdown on narcotics use. Warren Davis made it to the big time. The picture from Philadelphia's Tennessee Dragons Little League team is on the cover of August 25th Sports Illustrated. 3 weeks out of training camp and 2 preseason games were clearly not enough to decide if Brent Hoyer, John Manziel should be the Cleveland Browns starting quarterback for the season opener against the arch-rival Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Pirates activated Andrew McCutcheon off the disabled list on Tuesday, and he was back in the customary lineup spot against Atlanta, playing in third and playing center field. Huntsville, North Carolina, 2 years ago, Matt Kenseth walked into the stage and Joe Gibbs racing bank it all and revealed the worst kept secret in NASCAR. And Rick McCall talks about his scribble son, including 2 major wins, and Tucker Woods talks about his injury and representing the Nike brand along with him. 60 million years ago, the skies were dominated by giant toothless pterosaurs and wingspans stretched across 39 feet. These giant creatures were present worldwide could have played a major role in the late Cretaceous ecosystem. The finding is surprised because it reveals the evolutionary history of the spiders, insects, and crustaceans that researchers study. Javier Ortega Hernandez, a biologist at the University of Cambridge. U.S. Department of Justice has committed this problem into the plankton inhibition and patient outcomes. Plato, trial tag, Bilanta, AstraZeneca, and Insanity, acute coronary syndrome. The syndromes that is not planning for action. According to Reed's study in human psychology, a child's level of intelligence can be assumed according by his ability to draw anything. Okay, take a look at it. New England incident alerts here. In Brockton, Massachusetts, on 47th Ash Street, pedestrian struck by a vehicle, requested Met 5 Northeast 3. Take a look at what is going on. Okay, here's a closing stock market report here on this Tuesday. Dow Jones 69.19.59 up 80.85, SP 519 1.60 up 986, and Nasdaq 4527.51 up 1920. European markets here, DAX 9334.28 up 895, FTSE 6779.31 up 30.06, CAC 404254.45 up 23.80. In Asian markets here, Nikkei 15449.79 up 127.19. Shanghai 2245.33 up 586, and HSI 25122.95 up 167.49. And the oil markets here, 9460 down 181, Brent 101.54 down 6 cents, and natural gas 3.876 up 84 thousandths of a point here. And the gold 1296.10 down 320, silver 19.45 thousandths down 23 hundredths, and copper 3.07 down 22 thousandths of a point. In the bonds here, US 10-year yield 2.4033% up 16 thousandths of a point. Germany 10-year yield 1.01 thousandths of a point up down 3 thousandths, and Japanese 10-year yield down 2,000.501 thousandths percent here. European US dollar 1.3319 unchanged. US dollar Japanese yen up 300ths of a point to 1.292, and Great Britain pound US dollar 1.6616 up 1,000 of a point. That's going to be what I'm just your pre-channel news new report on this August 19th, 2014 on a Tuesday. PJ was here for good evening, good positive to see you at 11 o'clock. Have a good evening.